When you're a teacher thinking about whether AI is good or bad, it is natural to think of it in two ways. On the one hand, what possibilities does this open up for me to be a better teacher to my students? But also, which parts of the very complex set of skills involved in being a teacher, which of those skills are going to be irrelevant in 5 years? The thing about teaching that I think makes it not easy to replace is that teaching is not a skill. Teaching is a humongous set of micro skills. Some of those skills can be replaced by AI. And in fact, you may even be relieved to have some of those micro skills and micro tasks replaced by AI. My name is Roxana Eldon. I run the Maintain and Stay Sane program for teachers, which helps teachers make the job and their lives more manageable. I remember being at some type of professional development meeting with other teachers at my school. And they asked us to talk about a teacher who had influenced us. And I remember one of my colleagues talked about this teacher who had unlimited time for her. I remember the exact phrasing of this story because I remember that when she said this teacher had unlimited time for me, she kind of choked up, like this had meant so much to her. And I felt very conflicted in that moment because the thought of having to have unlimited time for students really stressed me out. I had just recently realized that I had to stop making it an option for students to eat lunch in my classroom. I needed those lunch periods. I needed that quiet time in the middle of my day that, I was contractually entitled to. And I don't think I had to feel bad about that. But in the moment of listening to this teacher tell this story, I just realized that I wasn't going to be that teacher. I didn't have unlimited time and attention for students. I didn't know the word boundaries yet. It hadn't come into style. But I needed to have certain periods of time that were mine to sit on my computer or sit in my classroom alone and not feel bad about it. I guess what I'm getting at here, I don't think teachers want to compete with AI in this unlimited time to go back and forth arena. And they really shouldn't have to. In fact, one of the things that I talk about in the Maintain and Stay Sane program for teachers is that some of the most finite resources in education are teachers' time, effort, and emotional energy. Those are things that teachers have always needed to budget very carefully. And in many cases, AI can be a budgeting tool for those three resources. One of the things that AI offers is there is no sense with AI that there is a ticking clock. With humans, I would argue that there is almost always a ticking clock. If you're in an appointment, the appointment has an end. With a teacher, there's a bell at the end of the class. With a tutor, there's an end of a session. Even when you're just having a face-to-face conversation with any human, we register these small signs that the other human is ready for the conversation to end soon. But with AI, you don't have a ticking clock because you can't really annoy AI with too many follow-up questions. And that's something that most teachers, I would even say, wouldn't want to compete with. The question I want you to ask yourself this upcoming week is, what are some areas where I often feel like I should be unlimited, but I do have my limits? Then on the flip side of that, ask yourself, what human aspect of your teaching will this allow you to do more of or to do better? Here's one example of how you can use AI to address the fact that you just don't have unlimited time for student follow-up questions. If students have AI in your classroom, maybe you explain something and then you give them a 5-minute break where they are supposed to ask AI anywhere from 1 to 3 questions, and they ask as many follow-up questions as they want to. They can take it in any direction they want to. And then you call on one student randomly to share what questions they asked and what they learned from AI. And this is a chance to see what students are actually wondering about with the material. In some cases, they may have needed clarification. In some cases, they may have had a very interesting question. And this is a chance for you to compliment them in front of the class, reinforce that curiosity, reinforce whatever their best follow-up question was. Say, I love the fact that you asked a second question when the first answer wasn't clear, or something where you're kind of reinforcing those research skills and critical thinking skills, and you're expressing pride in what they've done. Because one thing that AI can't replace is the sense that another human is proud of you. This video will be part of a playlist about AI teaching topics. You will find the link to that playlist in the description underneath this video. I'll be adding videos to it about once a week to the best of my ability, but no promises because I am only human. Thanks for watching. See you next time.